Good morning, everyone. This is meteorologist Shane Hinton hopping on to Facebook Live and our other social media platforms in order to give you an update on the forecast. We are tracking widespread showers and even some isolated storms across central Texas this morning. Going to get started in the next few moments, but I want to make sure you can in fact hear me. So if you're watching this live, this is 10:35 on Wednesday morning. Please let me know in the comments below where you're tuning in from. That's going to be my microphone check this morning. We're going to get started shortly. Good morning, Stephanie. I hope you're doing well today. Hi there, Michelle. Okay, I'm taking that as a positive. Hey, Natalia in San Marcos. Okay, I'm taking that as everyone can hear me, so we are going to get started. Let me hop on the screen really quickly. There we go. Hello, good afternoon, or well, good morning. It feels like it's afternoon because it's been a long morning today with all the activity we've been tracking on the radar. This is all due to that front that's moving through central Texas. We've been talking about it for the past couple of days now. It's finally here and it is slowly moving through the KVUE viewing area. In fact, we'll take a look at the surface map in just a couple of moments. It's going to show it kind of stalled as a stationary front. You're taking a look at the current Doppler radar and it is lit up across the board. Everyone, or well, almost everyone, I should say, is receiving some amount of rainfall, whether it's a heavy to moderate downpour or even some light drizzle or mist. The exception is as you make your way out to Fayette County, where it's probably the driest at the time being. So we had a lot of hill country activity earlier this morning. Let's kind of take it area by area really quickly. Temperatures you notice are in the lower to mid 50s in the hill country, mid to upper 50s along the I-35 corridor, currently sitting at 54 degrees in Austin, and then still some areas out towards the east are sitting in the lower 60s because that cooler air has not started filtering into the area yet. Let's take off the temperatures, kind of just zone in on some areas. Let's start with the hill country. You can see a little bit of lightning around the Blanco area. Areas near Mason and Fredericksburg and Llano are slowly starting to calm down. You saw a lot of your activity earlier this morning. Notice as we make our way to the I-35 corridor, that's including Georgetown, Round Rock, Austin, all the way down to Buda and San Marcos. You're getting anywhere from moderate to light rain at the moment, but as you make your way a little bit further to the west out in Dripping Springs, I'm tracking quite a few bolts of lightning in addition to some moderate to heavy downpours. Now keep in mind, we're going to be tracking widespread showers and isolated storms all day today. However, the severe threat is very low. In fact, the main concern is going to be the potential for maybe some flooding, some ponding up on the roads for sure. I know as I was on the roads this morning, I was already seeing some underpasses that were getting some water built up. So just make sure you're factoring that if you have to be out on the roads for any reason. As you make your way a little bit closer to the coastal plains, as I mentioned, the rain is starting to pick up, but it's probably receiving the least amount of rain at the time being. Notice near Tanglewood and Giddings, you're probably hearing a few rumbles of thunder. You'll continue to hear that throughout the day. In fact, this rain is going to continue pushing out towards the south and the east. Conditions will clear up northwest to southeast overnight into Thursday. So unfortunately, this is one of those all-day events. Let me show you why. Notice as we put the surface map on there for you, notice that that front is kind of stationary and remaining in place across central Texas. It is going to pass through as a cold front. There's much cooler air behind it that we're going to experience. In fact, some areas already experiencing it in the hill country, but cooler, even cooler and drier air is moving in well behind the front. And that's what we're going to be tracking as we go throughout tonight, tomorrow night, and into the end of the work week. So I just want to continue to kind of flip through here. If I'm looking at my phone for any reason, it's because I'm monitoring the Facebook comments to try and help clarify any questions about the forecast that we might have. Let's also take a look at the current winds and gusts. Those have picked up significantly since this morning. I'm seeing gusts up to 25 miles per hour down in San Marcos, 20 mile per hour gusts in Fredericksburg, 23 mile per hour gusts in Giddings, and the numbers you see in white, those are sustained winds. So gold are gusts, white sustained winds. Sustained winds are going to be anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour throughout the day today. Gusts up to 20 to 25 miles per hour. Very consistent with what we're seeing now. Now, I know when you see the Doppler radar, it can look daunting, especially when I show you this future cast, but I once again must stress the severe weather threat for today is low. It's going to be mainly a flooding issue if any issues arise at all. So notice this is just after lunchtime. This is around 2 o'clock. We continue to see those heavy showers and storms start to push to the southeast. As we make our way toward dinner time, that's when our coastal plain areas are expected to get some of the heaviest rainfall that they'll see today. Heading into the overnight period, the high-resolution forecast models want to start putting some heavier showers redeveloping south of the KVUE area. So for any reason you're commuting south today, later this evening, or you have family members down there, just make them aware that they've got some heavier rain and some showers that are moving their way as we go into the overnight period. Now notice as we go into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we can still see some residual showers lingering. I don't think we'll have storms because I think the atmosphere will just be really exhausted at that point, to put it simply. I don't think there's going to be a lot of fuel for any thunderstorms to pop off. The temperatures are definitely going to be on the cooler side. Think of this kind of the weather that you can expect for late tonight into early Thursday morning, almost one of those random showers that we can get during the winter time, late fall, early winter, because we're talking temperatures upper 40s to lower 50s that we could be kicking off the day with. Overnight lows are expected to get into the 40s. Let's talk about your daytime highs. Guess what? We already experienced them. Normally, it doesn't happen until around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on what time of the year we're in. However, because of this front's time of arrival and the way it's pushing in, the cloud coverage and the rain, we saw our daytime highs this morning. In fact, the National Weather Service is kind of locking it in at 65 degrees. That was achieved at 1 o'clock this morning. I like to put my forecasted highs starting at a sunrise on. At sunrise, it was 61 degrees. Okay, so that's when we achieved kind of our daytime high once the sun officially rose. Notice that temperatures this afternoon into the early evening are going to be in the mid to upper 50s. Rain chances, they're stuck here throughout the day. This is one of those work inside, stay inside days, work at the coffee shop, read a book indoors kind of days. You don't want to be out on the roads on this kind of in this kind of weather. Okay, I've seen the roads, I've been seeing the traffic conditions, I'm watching the webcams now, and it's just a mess out there. So if you don't have to be out on the roads, I would encourage you to probably stay indoors tonight and this evening. Now I know we have a few people that might be going out to the Austin FC game. It's the last home game match today. We are looking into what those conditions would look like in regards to what they do with the game, if the rain's still lingering, how the field's going to hold up in all this rain, because we've been very fortunate and haven't had any heavy or significant showers and storms move through during our home games. We've been very fortunate this season. Today, that's not the case. So we'll continue to monitor that and provide updates on air and online with how that game and the game conditions shapes up. Taking a look at your allergy count. Now, I pulled this sample slide this morning before the rain arrived here at the KVUE station. So that's along the I-35 corridor just north of Austin. That's where our studio is located. So keep in mind that these levels should drop significantly for trees, ragweed, and grass due to the fact that rain should be washing them out. I do expect mold to be on the rise as we make our way into the later forecast period for tonight, tomorrow, just due to all the moisture that's coming along with this rain. Our mold levels typically go up after we have a rain like this, but I do historically see trees, ragweed, and grass go down after we have rain like this. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. I know everyone's kind of already focusing in on the weekend. We get to the beginning of the work week or the middle of the work week, and we just want to know what Saturday and Sunday look like. Well, guess what? Beautiful. We're talking lower to mid 70s. Sunny to mostly sunny skies. Winds calm. They're returning back from the south and southeast, so that's why we'll see a warming trend that starts as early as Friday. But look at this. Before we get to there, we have to deal with well below average temperatures, close to 20 degrees below average for your forecasted highs for tomorrow. I'm talking upper 50s. It's going to be a mostly cloudy day. For any of you that have moved from the Seattle area or the Pacific Northwest, it's going to be very reminiscent of the Pacific Northwest, what we're seeing today and what we see tomorrow. For those of you that have not visited, you're getting a taste of it right now in Central Texas, okay? But like I said, the weekend looking wonderful. I think it's a beautiful forecast that we have for the back half of the forecast. Going into next week, we could see the return of upper 70s to lower 80s. Let me pull back up that Doppler radar. I want to show you what we're currently tracking. Also want to hop over here to the comments and make sure that I am answering or addressing any questions that we might have. Let's see. Pouring in Lakeway. Christina, thank you for that report. Yeah, let me know in the comments where you are seeing or what you're hearing, what you're seeing, where you're located. Like I said, right now, we're seeing more of that activity starting to kind of diagonally approach the I-35 corridor. You can see that tilt, just slight tilt of the front. So right now, areas from Blanco stretching to Austin are probably where I'm tracking the heaviest amounts of rainfall. In fact, let's dive into it. Let's look a little bit closer. If you're sitting here watching this, you want to know this kind of information anyway. You're curious about how heavy some of the rainfall rates are. So let's just dive into it together. In fact, let's look out near the Blanco area, just to the southwest of Blanco. The rainfall rate's falling about a little over an inch per hour. So that's the rainfall rate. That is not how much rain would be acquired. That's how much rainfall would be acquired if that particular patch of rain sat over that area for an hour. Okay, that's what we're saying in regards to the rainfall rate. It'll drop a little over an inch in an hour. Let's take another look. Let's look over here closer to Dripping Springs. In fact, I know sometimes you get a few people that tune in these Facebook Lives, and yep, there we go. A little over 2 inches an hour is what we're tracking out there. Let's see, do we have any questions or any reports? Let's see, Anna saying thunder and lightning in Pflugerville. Tamika says she wished she could stay in bed all day. I promise you, I woke up this morning and I thought the same thing. I saw the radar, I was like, ooh, it's gonna be one of those days. The good news is this is it's just a wet and chilly day, you guys. Thankfully, you know, we're not tracking a tornado threat. I don't think there's enough instability in the atmosphere for hail. We just have moisture due to that flow that we've had from the Gulf of Mexico, from the south and southeast. Our dew points got a little bit more elevated yesterday. We have that shallow cold front moving through, so we're not really as concerned with strong to severe storms, just some moderate to heavy downpours at times. David giving me the simplest of forecasts. You know what, David? That's all you need to know. It's wet outside. You're right. You are not wrong. Judy saying there's steady rain in Hornsby. Hi there, Amy in Killeen. Tony saying it's pretty nasty and wet in Cedar Park. Yep, I see you right there. I see what you're talking about. Let's take a look once again at the next 12 hours, just so that if you are planning to be outdoors for any reason, you know or outdoors as in you're traveling somewhere. I guarantee you probably don't have any outdoor plans unless you love just sitting on the porch, listening to some rain, which I'm sure many of you would probably enjoy doing that today. You know, grab that cup of coffee, grab that hot chocolate, and just wrap up in a blanket, wrap up in a sweater, and sit out on the covered porch and just enjoy this rain. Some people find it very calming, and by all means, this day is for you then. Bill talking about the rain down in San Marcos. Carrie, you've got the right idea. Good day to sip some hot chocolate and Netflix. That I am jealous of you so much right now. Okay, that does sound great. That sounds fantastic. So once again, temperatures this afternoon only going to be in the mid to upper 50s. Okay, we've already seen the highs of the day in the lower 60s, but since that front moved through, you can kiss the 60s goodbye at least until Friday into Saturday. Okay. Then we have that gorgeous forecast that's in store. Now, I am going to have a more in-depth look at the forecast, walk you through what the high-resolution forecast models are showing during our midday show. That starts in about 12 minutes from now at 11 o'clock. The high-resolution forecast models that I show you with the forecast runs, kind of that graphical depiction of where the rain's going to be, those refresh pretty often, or at least the high-resolution ones do. Okay, some every 15 minutes, some every 30 minutes. So it could possibly look a little bit different during our midday show. So if you're curious about any updates on those forecast model runs, by all means, just tune in to KVUE Midday, and you'll be able to see the absolute latest information. Chief Meteorologist Erica Lopez is going to be holding down the Weather Center for the rest of the afternoon and into the evening and nighttime hours. So she'll have an updated look to see whether or not we could be even cooler than what we're forecasting for right now, because if there's anything I've noticed, it's that some of the forecast models have been trending lower and lower and lower with the daytime highs. Notice that for today, for example. So if you're very curious about whether or not we could see any changes with that, Meteorologist Erica Lopez is going to have the latest on it, okay? I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Please stay safe out there if you have to be on the roads for any reason. I can assure you there are some pretty tricky roadways out there, okay? So just make sure you take it slow, take it easy. Stay safe, stay smart. Most importantly, please stay kind, and I'll see you all again on the next one. Have a fantastic day.